Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Total Extreme Wrestling video, and we are on the road to Survivor Series. We are on the road to brand warfare in a lot of ways. We'll get to that, we'll get to that. Last night though was Hell in a Cell, so if you missed it, go and watch it now. Go and watch it now, don't miss out on it because you will not understand a lot of what's happening. So go and watch it now and then catch back up. We are on week 1 of November. We are just 3 weeks away from Survivor Series. We've got some big matches planned. I can tell you now, before we really get into it, we've got the NXT Championship on the line. We've got the NXT Women's Championship on the line. I'm not swearing at you. We've got the NXT Tag Team Championship on the line. The NXT UK Women's Championship, by the way. We also have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. So lots of matches, big matches, just 4. So let's get through it. Let's do it. Enjoy. Okay, we're going to start Monday Night Raw and we're going to go with something pretty big. We're on the back of Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell last night was pretty damn good. Go watch that episode if you missed it. But tonight we start the Survivor Series build. Tonight we start Raw versus Smackdown, the 5v5, as well as title pictures. We really start going now. And we're going to open up with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. We haven't used him on stream for a while. Stream episodes, whatever you want to call it, to be fair, because it works for both. We haven't used him on the save for a while. Tonight, he opens up Raw with 2 big announcements. Yes, one of them will be the tag match, but there's another announcement. Let's do it. Right. I need to take it off full screen first. I'm getting used to it. It's fine. Right. Okay, so Mr. McMahon comes out a 77 rated segment, which is pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'm surprised that did so well. But thank you, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He comes out and he announces, first of all, that the night after Survivor Series will be night 1 of the WWE draft. We're doing a draft because we haven't done one since they have, and I think we need to freshen up our roster a little bit. We're going to do it the night after Survivor Series. Because I did not like how they did the draft this year, that they did it before Survivor Series and then went into brand warfare, where people who had been fighting on Smackdown for 6 months suddenly hated Smackdown. What? No, doesn't work. We're going to do it afterwards. This then leads into announcement number 2. He says, and at Survivor Series, where it is Raw versus Smackdown, let's put something on the line. In that 5 versus 5, Team Raw versus Team Smackdown men's tag team matchup, the winning team will get the number 1 pick in the draft. So we've got to put something on the line. Make Survivor Series mean something. The best Survivor Series tag matches mean stuff. This gives it something. So, yeah. The winner gets number 1 pick. Now, if you're Christian, the Raw General Manager, or you're JBL, the SmackDown General Manager in the game, you're thinking you need to win that match. Because if you're SmackDown and you lose your Universal Champion, you're in big trouble. If you're Raw and you lose your WWE Champion, you're in big trouble. So you want that first pick to keep your top star. Good start to the show, though. 77. We've got to go to in-ring action. And as we mentioned in the Hell in a Cell episode, it was supposed to be Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax. It wasn't. It didn't happen because they couldn't get the match in the ring. They brawled around ringside and it was broken up. Tonight, though, Christian has made the declaration that if they don't get the match started in the ring and they don't have this matchup, they will both be suspended. So they get the entrances and they have the match. So what will it be? Charlotte and Nia Jax to open the show gets us a 71. So that is a very good match considering Nia Jax is in it. That is very good. They only had about 10 minutes because we're trying to pack a lot in tonight. So Charlotte Flair, an in-ring performance of 71, and she's the woman who picks up the victory. May not surprise a lot of people. Charlotte Flair, we turned a face. We needed to pick up wins now to really get that face turn going. And she makes Nia Jax tap here, which I didn't actually add. I should have looked at that. But this could work in the storyline to continue it, because I am thinking perhaps a gimmick match at Survivor Series, if we can fit it on the card, to really put over the winner of that one. You can see who it's going to be. 71, though. Pretty good start to the show. Better than I expected. And this is all about that who attacked Becky Lynch storyline. Charlotte wants Nia Jax to admit that she was the one who attacked her, that Nia was the one who attacked Becky backstage and has taken her out for a few months. Charlotte Flair is determined to make up, determined to protect her best friend. Nia Jax will admit it, won't she, after losing? No, she won't. Charlotte Flair demands that Nia Jax admits it. She's got her locked in the figure 4 leg lock still and demands, I will let it go once you admit it. But Nia says, I can't admit it because I didn't do it. And in the end up, it gets broken up and Nia and Charlotte is clearly not quite done with each other. Charlotte wants Nia to admit it, but she just won't. Why? I guess we'll have to find out later on. 61 for the segment. Not too bad. Okay, we go backstage to Christian, and he's sort of speaking to camera. We do one of those sort of segments, and he announces, right, I need the best of the best on Team Raw. I need the people that I can trust. So tonight, I want people to earn their place on Team Raw. I am putting some of the top stars on this brand in the ring tonight, and we are going to have the best of Monday Night Raw. I can announce that all 5 members will be filled tonight, and that our main event tonight is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins, and the winner of that one will be on Team Raw. A big main event. Big main event. It should be great. Drew and Seth Rollins. That's going to be our final qualifier. Our first qualifier is a fatal 4-way tag team match where the tag team will be on Team Raw. It's the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory versus the Forgotten Sons versus the Viking Raiders. Will it do well? Not sure. I am in two minds about this one. Okay, so it gets us a 63, which is quite good, actually, when you look at the teams in there. The likes of the Forgotten Sons who have put in a 34 and a 35. So you've really got Garza, you've got the Viking Raiders, and you've got the Street Profits carrying this one. Really, really good stuff. Actually, Austin Theory as well, 62. Let's not doubt on Theory. But this is good stuff. And as you can see, the Street Profits qualify for Team Raw. Makes a lot of sense to me because they're a really popular team, and you can put them in this 5-on-5 tag match and they'll really sort of help the match go along. Montez Ford with his offense will pop the crowd. I think it works on Team Raw. They're not going to go for the tag team titles at the moment, so let's put them in this match. Good stuff. 63, as I say, really carried by, well, Garza and Theory actually do better than Street Profits, so they are coming along nicely. The Forgotten Sons are an interesting one. I have inserted them in here because they do have Jackson Riker with them in game, and I know Jackson Riker is an absolute, well, there are words for him in real life, but I haven't split them up in the game. And actually, Riker was meant to be in a feud with Aleister Black, but he got injured. So at the moment, the Forgotten Sons are just there in a tag team. So yeah, used them, and it's worked quite well. 63, good stuff. So they're in. They are in. The Street Profits are in. We'll go from the Street Profits to the WWE Champion. Arriving is AJ Styles, and he's automatically sort of approached by the interviewer. We'll say it's Charlie Caruso, I want to say, or Sarah Schreiber. I don't know, whoever it is now at the minute. And they say, AJ, how do you feel after defeating Drew McIntyre last night and retaining your WWE Championship in a tables match? AJ says, you know what? Despite being in a tables match, I feel fantastic. I feel phenomenal. So, just to make it clear to everybody here at the Cross Insurance Arena, I've asked Christian for a bit of time because I am having a celebration. I am done with Drew McIntyre, and my WWE Championship reign will go on to greatness and greatness and greatness. And tonight we celebrate. So it's already announced here. AJ is throwing a celebration for himself because they go well in wrestling, don't they? Good segment now, 74, good promo. We go to break then, let's say, and we have another promo from Seth Rollins here. 68, not great, but Seth now really goes into why he wants to go for the United States Championship. He lost last night. But he talked about his United States Championship reign in 2015 when he beat John Cena at SummerSlam. But he only held the title for about a month. And he talked about his disappointment and that. He says he's held the Intercontinental Championship for a while. He's held the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship. He's held tag team titles. But the United States Championship, if my voice can take it, I'm going to have a drink. The United States Championship is the one championship that he's never really been able to make his. And he thinks that he needs to be the United States champion. He needs to be the face of the United States because for a year now, he has been trying to save Monday Night Raw. And he's actually realised it's bigger than that. He needs to save the United States. He needs to save them from the sinful path that they are on. And it needs to happen with him as champion. He will show the United States the way. He will show them the way. But before we get there, before we get to a title match, Seth Rollins says, first of all, I will continue my mission to show everyone on Raw the correct way, the right way. I will be Monday Night Messiah and I will lead Team Raw. So he does mention tonight's match as well. 68. Good stuff. I went on a bit of a rant there, but it works. Speaking of the United States Champion, they've done it again, by the way. Aleister Black and Shelton Benjamin have had an 80 rated matchup. They had an 82 about 3 or 4 weeks ago when we did this for the title. 80 now. Aleister Black on Monday Night Raw has bangers. Week in and week out. He got a 79 out of Jinder Mahal. I'll say it again, guys, because I am still amazed by it. This, though, not as surprising because Shelton's a good wrestler, but Aleister 81, Shelton 53, and Aleister gets the win. So Shelton is, in my game, part of the Disciples, part of Seth Rollins' crew. So the idea that Aleister Black was taking on a Disciple helped the match, I think, and a win for Aleister Black. He defeated Seth last night, he defeated Shelton tonight. But if he thinks he's done with the Monday Night Messiah, he is not. He is very much not. Because after the match, in a 65 rated segment, what we do is have the Disciples rush the ring. That's Murphy, Benjamin, Aikman, Razor as well. AOP is still part of it, loosely at the minute, as the tag champs, but we're going to use them here. And they rush Aleister Black. They really go down into a proper beatdown. And Seth Rollins calls. He looks up and he calls down. And down comes a fountain. Or a sink or something like that. I don't know how they make it work, but I've got an idea for it. And they put handcuffs onto Aleister Black's arms and legs as they beat him down. So Black is done. They bring him up. And Seth grabs Aleister's face and puts him in the sink and cleanses him. This is going to be controversial. I think people ain't going to like this. And I apologise if you don't, but I think it works with his character. He cleanses Aleister Black. He wants to clean Aleister Black of his sins. Of his sins as United States Champion and his sins as the darkness. He does that. Aleister is getting more and more furious because obviously it's more about disrespect, this angle, rather than any violent sort of thing. So Aleister is getting more and more furious, and in the end they leave him handcuffed in the ring. This is not done. They leave, sort of scarper away as the cowardly heels in a way, but they have got a big disrespectful message put across here. This is going to cause a bit of shockwaves. That's the idea behind it. 65, well, it's not cause the shockwaves I was hoping it would in game anyway. We'll go from that, we'll go to break, and we'll come back to Sammy Guevara. We announced him last week, didn't we, as the newest member of Monday Night Raw. We've stolen him from AEW, and he gets another victory this week. He defeats Riddick Moss. We put him in there with Riddick to see if it'd do well. 53, actually, Sammy's carried this quite well. They had good chemistry. Interesting. Despite Riddick being off his game. 28 from Riddick isn't too bad considering he's got 20 popularity. And Sammy gets another win as this baby face. We're going to push Sammy Guevara as a baby face, remember. Sort of a high flyer, happy-go-lucky baby face for now before we really get his character going. I know he's good as a heel in AEW, but he didn't fit a heel role for me. Eventually, though, perhaps. 53, fine. Afterwards, he cut a backstage promo alongside his new manager, Savio Vega, which I haven't looked at the YouTube comments because those episodes haven't quite gone up as when I am streaming this. But God, that stream when we did it may have made a reaction to some people. Yes, Savio Vega is back and managing Sammy Guevara. Just go with it, all right? Just go with it. 50 rate segment. Fine. Right, we're now going to go to our second qualifier. And I said earlier, there are the bigger stars. You don't get bigger than the Big Show. He's going to be involved tonight, and he's against Andrade. Which of the two will go on to Team Raw? Yes, it's Andrade. It's always going to be Andrade because he's the guy I want to push. And he defeats the Big Show clean here. I put Andrade over big time. 75 from Andrade, though. Really good. From a 63 popularity to get 12 over. Very, very good. Big Show 64 and a 71. The matches tonight are working. This could be a very good Monday Night Raw if this continues. Andrade, I think that's going to be a big boost to defeat the Big Show. And it puts him over big time as a threat for Monday Night Raw going into the Survivor Series. So the Street Profits are in and Andrade are in. So hopefully that'll work. Afterwards, Andrade gets on the mic and talks about being the man who is going to take Smackdown apart. And watching backstage is Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, and they look a little bit annoyed at his disrespect because Andrade talks about how it doesn't matter who else is on the team. He is the star. And he really, he says he is the best Latin wrestler of all time, and he's the best wrestler on this Raw roster. And the Street Profits have a little bit of an issue with that, you see it. So we're just going to tease some tension in Team Raw, just a little bit. But at 54, yeah, pretty good stuff. Right, let's change gears then. Let's go to the Raw Women's Championship situation. We did say last night at Hell in a Cell it was Shayna did beat Asuka to retain her championship. However, during the match, the referee took a bump and Asuka had Shayna tapping out for the first time in a long time, if any, that Shayna actually tapped out. But it didn't count for nothing. So tonight, Asuka is furious. So we're going to have a cut of promo. Furious, ranting in Japanese about how she should be Raw Women's Champion. It's done really well. 70. I said earlier on stream before we recorded, if you give guys and girls, they've got charisma, you don't need to script them, and it's worked really well for Asuka there. So case in point. She rants about wanting to be champions, but she's got to get ahead on the game because she's in a tag team contest here. She's teaming with Kairi Sane, so the Kabuki Warriors, against the Iconics, the women's tag team champions. I feel in two minds about what I've done here. Let's get to it. A 73 rated match, so that's good. Asuka carried it. But yes, I have had the Iconics lose. I have had the champions lose. Now, I don't like it. I don't. But you can get away with it with the women's tag, hopefully, anyway. But Asuka gets the win. She pins Billie Kay, so she's got some momentum back after losing last night. And yeah, the Kabuki Warriors defeat the tag team champions. History tells us where we're going with that. Afterwards, Shayna Baszler runs down because obviously all we saw tonight is that footage of Asuka making Shayna Baszler tap, and Shayna is embarrassed. Shayna is disgusted that Asuka was able to do that, and she wants to make Asuka tap out again tonight. She goes to attack. Kairi Sane ends up splitting it up, and Shayna thinks better of it, so the attack doesn't go too far tonight. But we make it quite clear that while Asuka wants Shayna because of what happened last night, Shayna also wants Asuka because of what happened last night. So these two are not done with each other yet. 71, good segment. We've still got a lot to do tonight. So we got a Randy Orton, 68, as he cuts a promo, talking about how we're not going to talk about last night. He's asked about last night and he completely blanks it. And he says he's the most experienced man in this locker room. He is Monday Night Raw, and he will lead Monday Night Raw to success. This is what the theme is tonight. People want to be the guy for Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton thinks it should be him. So our third qualifying matchup, we're having 4 qualifying matchups because we did the tag. It's Randy Orton against Rey Mysterio for 80. Wow. Randy Orton, you filthy man. Well done. Very good match between two old rivals, really. They know what they're doing in the ring with each other. Ray 62, but this is all about Randy Orton 76, and the RKO means Randy Orton goes through to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. It's going to be the Raw Tag Team Championship match. He's definitely not in that. He's in for the Raw vs. Smackdown tag match. So it's going to be interesting now. Team Raw taking shape. 2 heels, 2 faces. So who's going to win? Is it going to be Drew or Seth in the main event? We'll see. But that's a very good TV match. 11 minutes of solid wrestling. 4 stars. Thank you very much to experienced men. Very experienced men. The Hurt Business cut a promo on Cedric and Apollo. We're continuing this storyline. And we're going to slightly tweak it. You'll see in a moment. They talk about how all they've had is dominance over Cedric and Apollo, but they won't bow down. They won't beg for mercy. So tonight they will make them beg for mercy. Quite clear that Lashley and Priest will be getting involved in the matchup that Cedric and Apollo have against AOP. Yes, I've had the tag team champions lose as well. Okay, I don't like it either, but we are doing it for the storyline. Just stick with me. And we'll get through it. Cedric Alexander pinned Akam following botched interference from Bobby Lashley. So Lashley and Priest come down to ringside, determined to get involved. But Cedric and Apollo see it coming this week, and they use it to their advantage. Akam takes the spear, we can say, and Cedric gets the pin. So Cedric and Apollo have pinned the tag team champions. AOP are furious at the Hurt Business, and the Hurt Business, of course, want to beat up Cedric and Apollo. 3 teams, 1 championships. You see where I'm going? You should do. 65. Good stuff. Okay, Christian announces... Well, I say announces. What this segment will be is Asuka goes into Christian's office ranting in Japanese. She wants her championship match. And Christian goes, whoa, stop. You will. I totally agree with you. You've earned it. You definitely deserve it. Next week, you're going to get your championship match. It's going to be you and Kairi Sane against the Iconics for the tag team championships. And Asuka is... not what she wanted. She wanted the Raw Women's Championship. She'll take it, but she wanted the Raw Women's Championship. 49, fine. And it's time that we did that celebration, isn't it? We did earlier say that IJ is going to have a celebration. Now, for people who have been watching these episodes or watching on stream for a while, they'll know there is one man we haven't used yet tonight that had a big win last night. So AJ Styles is having his celebration, and it is ruined by Kevin Owens. 83. Good start to the storyline for these guys. AJ Styles comes down to the ring, which had been set up for a celebration, blah, blah, blah. Ignore the new title stuff. Kevin Owens shows up clearly unimpressed. AJ is really, really, really fed up that KO's come out here. These guys are rivals, of course, in this save already. They've had 2 pay-per-view matches this year. We're going to put the title on the line to change it up this time, but I think they'll have another classic match, hopefully. And AJ's fed up of Owens getting involved in his business, and Owens says, look, I've beaten you before and I can do it again. And as he says again, he drops the mic and stuns AJ Styles, Stone Cold-esque. That's what we're going with Kevin Owens, so it works here. And he sort of just lays the title out across the prone body of AJ Styles. Made it quite clear Kevin Owens is ready for a title match. Last night he beat Randy Orton, of course, which means Orton doesn't get a title match until 2021. Owens escaped that, so he wants a title match, and he's made it clear what he wants tonight. So good. Drew's going to cut a promo on Seth Rollins to hype the main event. He's ready to lead Monday Night Raw. 71. So, what do we reckon then? People in the chat, in the stream, obviously, I mean, you can do it on YouTube as well if you want. What do we reckon for this matchup? Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. We've had some good matches tonight, but can they really take it to that next level? Can they get us to a 82? Any predictions want to come in the chat? I'm going to give you about 20 seconds now to do that. Basically, because I need a drink. But if you guys have got any predictions or you want to get involved, please do roundabout now, because I think this could be hopefully better than 82, but I would take 82. 85, perhaps. 2 great workers, 2 of the best workers we've got, Drew and Seth Rollins. We're going to do it tonight. Okay, it's time. Drew and Seth Rollins. Who rounds out Monday Night Raw, and will it be a great match? Ooh. Yes, it will. Drew McIntyre rounds out Monday Night Raw, and 84. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Fantastic match, really. 79 from Drew. Seth, 86, carried this one, interestingly. Considering Drew's got a lot more pop Interesting. The pinfall after the Future Shock, after a distraction from Aleister Black. Now, after earlier, when Aleister Black was so disrespected, he was looking for revenge. Seth has bitten off a little bit more than he can chew there, hasn't he? So Drew McIntyre wins. Seth Rollins loses, but he blames Aleister Black for it. It's the perfect way to end the show. 84. I think this could be our best Raw yet. I'm pretty sure it is there. And 82. Big stuff. Big stuff. Fantastic. Okay, the main event opens up with the tag team contest as Angel Garza and Austin Theory pick up the victory over Heavy Machinery. Now, Heavy Machinery I've hardly used. I don't like them. They lose here on main event. That's how much I don't like them. Garza and Theory, I think, are the future. So let's put them over after they lost on Raw. Let's get them some heat back. It's 59 for Theory, 61 for Garza. Good stuff to carry this through. 62 from Otis and a 53 from Tucker. As I say, 68 main event. That is really good. And a win for Garza and Theory. Happy days. AJ Styles got a promo on Drew McIntyre. That's not meant to be Drew McIntyre. That is instinct after doing it for so long. That's meant to be Kevin Owens. But anyway, we'll go with what is meant to be with Kevin Owens, where he says that Kevin Owens will pay for ruining the celebration. That's not going to help the storyline. Silly me. Drew McIntyre himself did cut a promo. He said it on Randy Orton, but actually what he talks about here is a tease for SmackDown. He says he wants Team Raw to be at their best. He wants Team Raw to fire the first shot in this brand warfare. And he says, I hear SmackDown are running a show on Friday. I hear it's on Fox. Let's do it. A little bit of a tease that Team Raw will be on SmackDown. So, yeah, let's do it. Sonya Deville was in action, defeating Natalya for 64. Good stuff. 58 from Sonya, 55 from Natalya. So, a boosted match, really, to get a 64. And Sonya with another victory. We're now going to start pushing her towards the Women's Championship. We'll pick up with this on SmackDown. But Sonya Deville, another good win. She cuts a promo on Sasha Banks here. So, the first time she mentions Sasha, really, for at least for a while, if she did. So, she makes it clear she's now got her eyes set on Sasha Banks. We've got a lot to pick up with Sasha, so we'll do that on SmackDown. 57, fine, good stuff. AOP cut a promo. That's later in the show, but Roman Reigns cut a promo on Drew McIntyre. We said, so now we can start this. Reigns says he wants to lead the blue brand. He wants to fight for the blue brand. 70, good promo from Roman Reigns. Ricochet and Mustafa Ali were in action for a 73. Really good match. They defeated Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley here. 77 from Ricochet, carried it really big time. Mojo's the weak link with a 42. 53 though from Jinder is not bad, and Mustafa Ali for a 59. Good stuff. 73, good match for main event, which has been pretty good so far actually. We finally get that AOP promo, but they cut a promo on the Hurt Business. They're furious at what AOP did. What the Hurt Business did on Monday Night Raw, get involved in their business, costing them a defeat, costing them a loss. The AOP do not like losing, and Lashley and Priest have been put on notice here for 55. Okay, pretty good stuff. Big E self-promotion for 74. He will be involved on Friday, so yeah, nice to get him just another one to brag about beating Kofi inside the cell. And the main event then is Xavier and the Viking Raiders taking on Sheamus, Corbin, and Lance Sullivan. It probably could have been Ali and Ricochet, but we're going to go with this. Oh, okay. That didn't do very well at all. And that's going to bring the show down big time. I wonder why it did so badly. Like, the Viking Raiders underperformed. Sheamus and Corbin was about what you'd expect. Woods was okay. Lars Sullivan really brought it down. I should have put the other tag in the main event. But the main thing here was Xavier Woods, and I probably know why it did so badly, because I asked Xavier Woods to dominate. And thinking about it, with all the other men involved, that was silly. That was very silly. 51, though. We wanted to give Woods a win here and really boost him back up because he needs to be involved. Gives us a 57 rated show. That 51 killed us because that's a good match. That's a good match. That's a good match. That 51 killed us. Damn it. Okay, so NXT this week kicks off with the grizzled young veterans, the tag team champions. They've been ducking Dijakovic. They've been ducking Bronson Reed over the past few months, weeks, where this tag championship match is meant to have happened. William Regal is getting more and more impatient. Tonight is Halloween Havoc. Tonight is a big night. So William Regal wants this match to happen, but Grizzled Young Veterans say they can't. They cannot wrestle tonight. They've received some terrible personal news. William Regal comes out, says, right, what is this terrible personal news? And Zach Gibson says, well, my great aunt sister has died, so it's really, really tough for me. Regal is just smiling, and he says, right, okay, well, you don't have to wrestle. But you do, James Drake. You must wrestle, because the titles are going to be on the line tonight, no matter what. And then they start kicking the fuss, and Regal says, how's about this, right? You both can wrestle. You know you can. If you don't put the championships on the line right now, I will strip you of them. End of story. Regal gets a little bit mean. You like mean Regal, I do. So yeah, in the end, the match will happen. And the match will happen next. It's for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Yeah, I am worried about how this is going to go, because Dijakovic and Reed have really low popularity. We've been through this before, so let's see how it goes. Zach Gibson, James Drake, Dominic Dijakovic, and Bronson Reed. Your winner, Dominic Dijakovic and Bronson Reed, but still NXT Tag Team Champion, the Grizzled Young Veterans. So we've done a schmoz finish, really. Okay. It works. 10 minutes or so they got, and actually 56. So this is a lot better than I thought it to be. Wow, Zach Gibson. I've just saw a 71. Wow. Big from Zach Gibson there. The idea is that they've been ducking him for a few weeks. They know what these big boys can do. They're finally in the ring against their will in a lot of ways, and they find a way out. It looks like the face is going to get the win. James Drake intentionally gets disqualified. As you can say, he gets a chair into a ring, and he knows exactly what he's doing. They've had the match. They've put the titles on the line. They've kept the titles. Do you know what I mean? Edge and Christian type heel tag team. That's what we're going with. 41 from Bronson and 49 from Dominic Dijakovic. Pretty good considering their popularities. And James Drake, 57. James Drake was not happy about this. I'm not happy with that 57, James Drake. So, yeah. We'll get over it. We'll get over it, shall we? Right. So the NXT tag team titles have been on the line. We've also got two other big matches, of course, tonight. I'll let you know again now. NXT Championship on the line is Keith Lee looking to reclaim his belt from Finn Balor, and also Johnny Gargano is taking on Matt Riddle. So we've got a lot to do tonight. The NXT Women's Champion is also in the house. Dakota Kai cuts a promo on Shotzi for 61. So Dakota Kai is really starting to hit her groove. Hit her groove big time. Good stuff from Dakota Kai. She cuts a promo on Shotzi. Raquel's with her, and Raquel says, don't worry, I'm going to put her down, and I'm going to put her down tonight. And that's going to happen next, because it's Shotzi versus Raquel. This could struggle. It struggles. Oh, it struggles. A 30. Right. Shotzi Blackheart 32, Raquel 35. Brought down by the fact that the audience see them as pre-show workers. I mean, this is a developmental territory, technically, guys. Be nice. I'm starting to regret pushing Shotzi a little bit too soon, perhaps, but we're going to stick with it. 30 straight segment, fine. But Shotzi gets a win over Raquel here. Another good win that in storyline just legitimizes her even more. And now Shotzi may get what she wants, because as she's celebrating backstage, William Regal comes up and says that he is impressed. And next week, Shotzi has another chance to impress, because next week, Shotzi Blackheart will go one-on-one with Dakota Kai, and the NXT Women's Championship will be on the line. 31. Fine. We'll stick with it and keep going. Right. We, at the moment, are in the middle of an NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament. We're looking to crown a champion. We already have 4 men involved in the final 8 already. That's Santos Escobar, that's Tyler Breeze, that's Brian Kendrick, and that's Isaiah Swerve Scott. Ignore the bit from the last episode. I messed up that ending. It was meant to be Scott winning, for anyone confused. Tonight, though, we're going to get 2 more in. Up next, it's Jake Atlas against, well, you'll see, 31 for that. And Jake Atlas beats Joaquin Wilde to get through to the final 8. Joaquin Wilde off his game there, which is a bit of a shame, because I needed him to carry it. Good chemistry, though, worth remembering. And a 53 for Joaquin Wilde, 44 for Jake Atlas. And, yeah, pretty good stuff. 11 minutes they got, and Jake Atlas is a big win for him. He's into the final 8. Big win. Afterwards, Santos Escobar cuts a promo on Jake Atlas for 24. Not good from Santos Escobar. Oh, that sucks. Wow. Come on, Santos, you're better than that. Not good at all. Not good. Right, women's division, we're going to have a tag team contest. Candice LeRae is teaming with Chelsea Green against her rival Tegan Nox and Mia Yim. 56, back to some good stuff here for NXT anyway. Chelsea Green was the weak link. No surprise when you look at who she's in the ring with, but she's helped by being in the ring with these guys to me. And 31 from Chelsea, 51 from Candice, Mia Yim 47, and Tegan the best of the lot with a 59. And it's a win for the heels. So Candice and Chelsea get a win. It's going to help Chelsea big time. But Candice pinned Mia Yim, which will help Candice too. Obviously, the idea between the storyline at the moment, Tegan has already beaten Candice LeRae once on the pay-per-view. Tonight, team Candice wins. And Candice, in that annoying heel way, takes all the glory. She is very, very happy. She has beaten Tegan Nox. She has leveled the score. And you know what? The thing is, it's not nice being level. Candice LeRae really, really goes into the fact that she's beaten Tegan. She hasn't, technically. She beat Mia Yim, but annoying heel, she's got to take it. It's fine. We're going to do a segment here similar to last few weeks. Obviously, last week we had somebody spray paint Adam Cole's car. We had someone spray paint the Undisputed Era's car. Adam Cole Bebe was written on it. Come on, we know who it is, but we're still really starting to tease now that Adam Cole is trying to play some mind games with his former Undisputed Era teammates. This week, the Undisputed Era go out to find... you can say they're in their office, perhaps, or their changing room or whatever, and in a metal bin, there is something burning. And they take it, they spray it down, they take it out, and it's like a soft toy, but a Finn Balor soft toy. One of those... sort of, I forgot what they're called, like a proper, it's a soft toy, Finn Balor. They sell them, I'm pretty sure. But on it is written, in a bit that wasn't quite burned, it's signed ACBB. Again, another message from Adam Cole into this storyline. Good stuff. Pete Dunne is backstage watching footage of 2 weeks ago when he was beaten by Karrion Kross after Johnny Gargano's interference, and he's starting to get more and more wound up. He's sort of clicking his fingers. He's furious that he would lost the match, and he's asked by an interviewer about Karrion Kross, and he says, "You know what? I know I can beat you. And let's raise the stakes. Let's make it next week, and let's make it a street fight." So another big match booked for next week. It's going to be Karrion Kross and Pete Dunne in a street fight, assuming Kross accepts, which he will. You know that. Right. Johnny Gargano cut a promo on Matt Riddle for 72. That's good. Ahead of their matchup. Now, this could be match of the night. This really could be match of the night. I expect this to do well. It's Matt Riddle and Johnny Gargano. No championship on the line. We're just building towards a storyline. And the match gets a 77, which is actually low when you look at the performances. What brought that down? That's harsh. 85 from Gargano. 66 pop. 85. Matt Riddle 80. Really good stuff. Still very good for NXT. Very, very good. Good chemistry, which is fantastic to see. I need to know what brought it down. It's going to bug me. Just tell me. Lack of heat for the storyline. Sucks. Anyway, pretty good match. I'm going to take the win. I'm going to take the W on that. Pretty good match. Matt Riddle gets the win, though. That's going to surprise a few. And again, a champion's losing. And I don't like it, right? I don't like it. But it's Matt Riddle, so I think we can get away with it. We did protect Gargano a bit. A fast roll-up did the business. And a 77. A win for Matt Riddle, who's put himself in that North American title picture. Fine. Finn Balor could have promo on Keith Lee for 74. Hype in the main event. He says tonight Keith Lee will be downed. And that is undisputed. Good promo from Balor for 74. We're going to have a second Cruiserweight title match. Tournament match even. And we've brought someone down from the main roster for this. Lince Dorado is into the final 8. Yes. I'm not using him on Smackdown. I think he's quite good. Let's use him on NXT. We got a 70 rated match from it, so it's a good start. Lince Dorado 60. Raul Mendoza 54. 70 rated match. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. Lince Dorado gets the win now. He's into the final 8. And yeah, hopefully this could be a little bit of a boost for Lince. Be good for him. It'd be good for him. So yeah, he's in. We've got 2 more to fill next week. So we'll do that next week. Undisputed Era are giving Finn Balor sort of a pep talk backstage. They say, don't worry, no matter what happens, we have got your back. A bit of a teaser. Undisputed Era may get involved in the main event then. And now it's time for the NXT Championship to be on the line. Now it's time for Keith Lee to get his rematch. Will he beat Finn Balor? Here we go then. Balor and Lee, main event. Your winner. And still NXT champion Finn Balor. Thanks to the interference from Roderick Strong. Let's really now put the Undisputed Era as this heel dastardly stable. And this is the way to do it. Keith Lee gets screwed out of the title again. 78 though. Fantastic match. This is all about Balor here. 78 from him. 61 from Keith Lee. Great main event. Great main event. And just to put the boots in afterwards, the Undisputed Era, a 4-on-1 attack on Keith Lee for the 2nd week in a row this. Keith Lee needs some friends. What's that pay-per-view coming up? I'm sure Regal will know. We'll get to that. 64 for the segment. Gives us, I think this will be one of our best NXTs yet. I really hope so. It's a 75. Wow, so it definitely is. We had some great matches. Balor and Lee, Riddle and Gargano. Lince Dorado did really well as well. And the rest was all pretty good. Even the tag title match, which I thought would struggle, pretty good. Pretty good. Success. Great success, as Borat would say. NXT UK. Let's see if you can match up, shall we? Okay, NXT UK this week after a okay NXT. You could say okay anyway. Yeah, NXT UK this week is going to be an interesting one. Last week we involved a sausage roll. This week, not quite as much nonsense, I guess. We open up with Chris Brooks. Chris Brooks gets a win here over A-Kid for 51. This is pretty good for NXT UK. Really good, actually. Chris Brooks 53, A-Kid 32. And a good win for the heel to get some momentum going again for Chris Brooks. After the match, he cuts a promo, in-ring promo on Tyler Bate. He says, Bate, you are not finished with me. And I'm not finished with you, Ethan. He also, though, warns Walter that Chris Brooks might fancy a little bit of gold. So we're starting now to intertwine the Tyler Bate Chris Brooks storyline maybe towards the NXT title as well. So 53, really good promo again. Really good promo. We're now going to start a storyline that is a bit different for me. It's a mixed tag storyline in a lot of ways. So what we have here is Danny Jones, a heel on the roster. We've got a sort of mid-card heel. He's on his way out to the ring. You can see that he's going to be heading to the ring for a match when he's sort of interrupted by Lana Austin, who's sort of watching. She's got a seductress gimmick. We're going to play up to that. She starts flirting with Danny Jones, and they have a laugh together, I guess, but a little bit of a flirt between the two heels. And Tony Storm's walking by as Danny Jones walks off, and she just looks at Lana Austin and goes, "You're pathetic," and walks away. Tony Storm, bit of an issue with Lana Austin using her seductress gimmick, you could say, to get forward. And we're going to start something now between these three and somebody else, which we'll get to in just a second. 38, it helps that Tony was in it. So Danny Jones was in action, and he is in action against another mid-card, probably someone I haven't used enough on the roster. This is a babyface against Scotty Davies for 36. So this isn't bad, really, for an NXT UK mid-card stuff. And we can actually handle some changes, so he can have his gimmick changed to clean cut. That works. I forgot I did that, so we can change that, and that's fine. Yeah, 36, not bad. Scotty Davies is 30, Danny Jones 29. A win for Danny Jones after the interference from Lana Austin. So to follow it up, Lana goes out there to try and help potential love interest, let's say. And Danny Jones takes advantage to get the win, and they sort of hug afterwards, you could say, as they go up the ramp. A little bit. We're not going to go too quick with it, but perhaps pairing up these two could help both. And now, of course, Tony Storm would have been watching on backstage and not have been happy with what Lana Austin has just done there. So, yeah, we're going to start a storyline between those four. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Noam Dar cut a promo on the Ojmo for 44. Good promo here from Noam Dar. He was furious at being pinned in that tag match last week by the Ojmo. So he's embarrassed more than anything. He calls it a fluke. He says it will not happen again. Noam Dar will not be beaten. Noam Dar was then in action. He was beaten by Ilya Dragunov for 46. Good match here. Noam Dar 40, Ilya 33. And after a distraction from the Ojmo, Noam Dar loses again. So the Ojmo, he didn't like it being called a fluke, but also he knows he can get in Noam Dar's head now. Noam Dar is losing his mind in a way. He's having a lot of temper tantrums when he's not getting his own way. And the Ojmo cost Noam Dar another victory here after the match, with the Ojmo laughing at him from the stage. Another temper tantrum from Noam Dar. Christian style WrestleMania 18. Look it up if you're not, if you don't know what I mean. But another temper tantrum, and just to really sort of put the needle in on Noam Dar there. These two are going to keep it going. So we're on towards the main event, and it's going to be for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Kaylee Ray will be defending against Ginny. Ginny cuts a promo on her way to the ring. It's sort of recorded early. You can show it for 46, as does Kaylee Ray for 42. And the match itself, then, your winner and still NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray. They didn't click. That's a shame, but it was still a 40, which is pretty good. NXT UK has had better main events, but I felt like we had to put the championship in the main event, even though it's not quite got the popularity for it. 36 for Ginny, 35 for Kaylee Ray. It's a 6th defense of the title, so she's got a good reign going on now. She's had it for a while. So good stuff. That'll give us a 44 rated NXT UK average. We're doing a lot with some people that we may not always do stuff with, particularly here. And then the women's in it. It's fine. No Walter this week. No Tyler Bate. No Trent Seven. You have to get through it and you have to get over it. Fine. Okay, 77 rated segment to open up SmackDown this week. And we open with the man who lost the Universal Championship match, the Hell in a Cell Universal Championship match at Hell in a Cell, Braun Strowman. He comes out to the ring and he apologises to SmackDown. He apologises to the fans. He apologises to the roster. The people back in the locker rooms, of course, and he says, I'm sorry that I did not bring the title back to this brand and away from that lunatic, from that monster. I am sorry, but I am still blue in my blood, and I saw Raw. I saw what is going to happen at Survivor Series, and I want in. I want to make sure that SmackDown win at Survivor Series. He's interrupted by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes out and says, fair enough, you worry about Survivor Series because I want to be the one to take the title off the Fiend. Daniel Bryan wants the Fiend. He's dealt with him before. He wants the Fiend again, and he wants a shot at the Universal Championship. Miz and Morrison then come out. We're doing one of these segments where they all come out. Miz and Morrison come out and say, Daniel Bryan, look at him, trying to steal people's limelight again, trying to steal people's spotlight, just Daniel Bryan always does, like he stole the Miz's spotlight. And Morrison says, you think you're the only one who wants the Fiend? The Miz wants the Fiend. That's what he was saying, that he could beat the Fiend. That's what he told me. And then Miz is like, whoa. But before he can go any more, out comes Sheamus. Sheamus says he wants a shot at the Fiend. So JBL comes out and says, you know what? Let's announce a couple of things. Tonight there's going to be a triple threat match, an elimination style triple threat match between Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Sheamus. And the winner of that match will get Bray Wyatt at Survivor Series for the Universal Championship. But let's talk about Team Raw and Team SmackDown. Team Raw, we know who they are. Team SmackDown, you know what? I'm not going to put it up to chance. I know who my best are, and I want the best. So, Braun Strowman, you are in. Roman Reigns, you are in. Big E, you are in. Kofi, you are in. Xavier, you are in. Xavier's the shock one. JBL says, I need the New Day. He needs the New Day. We'll get to that. 77, good start to the show, though. Good start. Ricochet and Ali were in action against Cesaro and Elias for 80. Wow, fantastic match. Ricochet 77, a 71 from Cesaro, 66 from Ali, and 66 from Elias. But it's all about Ricochet and Cesaro here. They've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Ricochet gets the pinfall victory over Cesaro. 12 minutes they got. And another good win for the ring workers. Another good win. After the match, they got a promo on the Usos for 67. So their strength is in the ring, which is what we knew. But that's fine. They cut a promo on the Usos. And they say, you know what? They could be tag team champions one day. They could be. Good stuff. We come back from break to rush into the outside, to the backstage area, where we find Braun Strowman is being beaten down by two members of Monday Night Raw. Raw is here on Smackdown. Randy Orton and Andrade beat down Braun Strowman for a 70 rated segment. Orton and Andrade are here. Drew's already said he will be here. Team Raw are invading Friday nights tonight. 70, and Braun Strowman is left laying by two top heels from the Raw brand. Good stuff. Good stuff. We go to JBL's office where he's freaking out about Raw being here, and he's got Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods gathered. They don't like him being in the same room together, but JBL says, listen, I get you've got your personal differences, but you need to put them aside. Put them aside for the blue brand. I need the New Day. I need the well-oiled machine. I need this, and you are going to do it. And they walk off in disgust, and JBL is not pleased. He wants the New Day. The New Day do not want the New Day. So let's see what happens going forward. Sonya Deville's in action. She beat Nikki Cross for 66. Again, just like main event, another good win for Sonya. A very good win this time, actually. 62 from her, Nikki 56. So she beat someone who was challenging for the championship on Sunday. And afterwards, she calls out Sasha Banks for a 62 rated segment. She gets on the mic. And now let's deal with this, because Sasha Banks has the championship, but she also has the Money in the Bank briefcase. And Sonya says, look, I want a special match at Survivor Series. I want you, but I want a special match. I don't just want the championship. I want the briefcase too. And I want to do it in a fair way, because I am a fighter, don't forget. I want to do it 2 falls. 2 different matches, really. 2 falls, 1 for the title, 1 for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Sasha Banks says, you're on. And the match is made already. We're doing it. Sonya Deville, Sasha Banks, a 2 full matchup for the briefcase and the title at Survivor Series. That is a big match and a big gimmick. I don't know if I can pull it off on the game, but I want to do it. Similar to Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 16. That's what I'm going for. Okay, Jeff Hardy was in action against King Corbin for a 70. SmackDown's on a roll tonight. 63 from Jeff, 63 from Corbin. We got a 70 though. And with Chad Gable cheering him on at ringside, Jeff gets another good victory. They are showing that they can work together. They just haven't quite got their first tag team victory yet. Afterwards, the Glorious Show-Offs cut a promo on them saying, you can win. Apologies about that. You can win in a singles match, but you cannot win in a tag team. So let's see what happens between these two teams going forward. Fine. Good stuff. Okay. Good. Roman Reigns cut a promo talking about wanting to be part of Team SmackDown, and if anyone from Raw is here and wants to get involved in their match against Sami Zayn tonight, bring it on, because Reigns is ready. 72. Good promo. Sami Zayn also cut a promo for 70. He is furious. He's been overlooked. He should be on Team SmackDown. He should be the top guy, but JBL doesn't think he is. So you know what? Tonight, against a top guy, Sami Zayn is going to prove the world wrong. 70. Good promo. We are on fire tonight. The New Day were in action for a 59. So there goes the momentum. And an injury for Mojo Rawley. That's a shame. I mean, he's not in storyline, but it's a shame. 64 from Xavier, 79 from Kofi, really would have been the carrier. 51 from Lars, 40 from Mojo. The injury took a big toll. That's a shame. But Kofi and Woods get a win. So these two are on the same page. After the match, they're attacked. Thank you. They're attacked by Orton and Andrade for a 68. So again, the two heels on the Raw team are here attacking people. And there's no Big E to be found. He's not running out to make the save here because he doesn't care less. And we actually go backstage to find Big E smirking, watching on. And he thinks he's pleased when he turns around to find he's not alone. The Street Profits are here and they beat down Big E. So you have the heels beat down the faces. Now the faces beat down the heel. Yes, it's a bit heelish from the Street Profits, but you really play the brand warfare thing, so it's fine. 57 isn't great, let's be fair, but it is Street Profits. So what was I really expecting? Okay, the next match is Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Before the match, after what he's just seen JBL bring security around ringside, he doesn't want anybody to ruin. He doesn't want anyone from Raw to turn up. Reigns and Zayn have their match, and there is no one turn up during the match. And the match itself, 79, good match. 83 from Reigns, 69 from Sami Zayn, and Reigns beats Zayn to prove why he should be part of Team Smackdown. Good TV match. That's all that is. Really good stuff. Afterwards, with the security still huddled around ringside, the music of Drew McIntyre hits. A 70 rated segment. McIntyre comes out. Security tried to stop him. McIntyre bowls through the security. He fights every single one of them and destroys them. Roman Reigns is just standing in the ring watching. Drew McIntyre gets into the ring. He's left all of the security down and he just stretches out his hand. And he's literally come here to shake Roman Reigns' hand. Drew McIntyre shakes Roman Reigns' hand and gets it in his face, I guess you could say. But he says, I just wanted to shake your hand and tell you that I am going to beat you at Survivor Series. Respect between the two big faces on the brand. But, yeah, a little bit of competitive rivalry, we'll say. 70, good segment. Really good segment. Daniel Bryan cut a promo on The Miz ahead of the main event then. It's Bryan, Miz, and Sheamus. Which of the three will go on to The Fiend to take on... will go on to Survivor Series to take on The Fiend? It's late, people. The winner... The Miz. Now, let's talk through it. The Miz defeated Bryan and Sheamus. Yes, Sheamus was gone first, then was Daniel Bryan. But The Miz has cheated to beat Daniel Bryan. So Bryan will be involved in this as well. 81 from Bryan, 61 from Sheamus, 74 from The Miz. Good main event for a 76. Good stuff from Monday Night Raw. Afterwards, the lights start to go out and The Miz realises just what he's got himself in for. The Miz realises just what he's done. The Miz at this point is number one contender. The Fiend comes down to the ring. The Miz is sat terrified in the corner. And the Fiend puts the mandible claw on Daniel Bryan, who's already down. A message from the Fiend as he stares The Miz in the face. And then he disappears. And The Miz is absolutely terrified. 69 for the segment isn't great. Gives us, though, a 76 rate Smackdown. Lost its popularity in a lot of regions, but it's still, for me, a pretty good show. So I'm surprised it lost its popularity. Good main event. Good stuff from Reigns and Zayn. And then, sort of, you had a good opening. Ring Workers and Cesaro and Elias had the best match of the night. Wow. Good stuff, guys. Well done. And that, then, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the episode. It's a pretty good episode, if you ask me. You know, Raw was very good. Main event was okay. NXT was very good. NXT UK was okay. Smackdown was good. So there's a pattern to it, but it's a good week. It's a good week. Survivor Series is shaping up quite nicely. You're going to have that big triple threat for the Universal Championship is where we're heading. You're going to have Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. You're going to have the Raw versus Smackdown match, and then you've got other stuff happening, which is going to be really good. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these recaps, and also follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. Carl Dixon on Twitch. That's where these are recorded now. Helps me out. So if you want to join us live on an evening where we are doing it live, make sure you do, and you won't regret it. Until next time, peace.